episode of Asexual's My Asexual Life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you and yours. If you haven't already subscribed yet, please subscribe below by hitting that great big button down below, and don't forget to hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as we go along. Don't forget, if you don't know who I am, you can check out the links below. I'm Sandra Bellamy, author of Asexual Perspectives 47 Asexual Stories, which is out on Amazon, and I interviewed 46 asexuals across the globe and across the asexual spectrum for it, so it's their own personal interview stories. And I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy, which is the world's first online training centre and school for asexuals and asexuality. So it's so lovely to have you. And on this channel, I sometimes do reviews of films without any sex in them, because I absolutely hate sex personally. I know not every asexual is the same as me, but I like to look for movies that I can enjoy without having to look at any sex or nudity. It really is a pleasure for me to be able to do that, especially when the TVs and films and people on it, well, in the media in general, are so sexualized with their body parts and everything like that. I welcome any films I can find which make me happy, which I love the story of, or the environment of, or the, you know, the people in it. I just love finding films like that, and I like to share these films with you because I think it's really hard to get no sex films sometimes, and I seem to be quite good at finding a lot of them without sex in them, because I kind of like purposely look for ones that don't have it. And also I really enjoy naturally a lot of kids movies and family stuff. So obviously there's going to be less sex in a certificate 12 than there would be in the higher certificates. So for International Celebrate Being Single Day, which was on February the 14th, I decided, after I'd been out and had a lovely day with my asexual friend, he's one of my best friends, who went to the aquarium and out for a meal in Nando's, so decided I booked myself in for a self-date. So it didn't matter what was happening the next day or that night, I was going to have a self-date at home this time and watch a movie at home. And I bought myself a movie as a gift. So every year, usually to celebrate being single, I buy myself some sort of gift. It's usually a romantic gift because I'm a hugely romantic asexual. Usually something like sparkly. Sometimes I do go out to the cinema or for a meal. But this year, obviously I spent the time with my friend at the aquarium and Nando's meal, which is a chicken restaurant. I had an amazing time. But I thought I still need to just make sure I've got that little bit of extra time on my own. So this is the movie I bought. It's called Game Night. Now, I've seen this at the cinema, and I didn't know what to expect when I went to see it. And I could not stop laughing in the cinema. I just thought it was absolutely hilarious. Now, any sort of comedy movie usually takes a lot for me to actually laugh at it. I'm not that into comedy because a lot of it I don't find that funny. But this film is absolutely hilarious, but the plot is also really good because it's like a psychological thriller. So these two people on here are brilliant together, right? They become a couple quite early on in the movie, so it's not really, you know, I don't really think I'm gonna like completely spoil it for you by saying that, because that's in the beginning of the movie. And you know, these two people, they've got very good on camera chemistry, as actually getting on really well as friends and mates, not just as love interests, because they just gel together so well. I thought the actor and actress in this were amazing together. They really seemed to just really work together, and I love to see that. You know, there's nothing worse than having two characters that are supposed to be in a relationship together and there's just like awkwardness, but these are really good. They play the parts really well. So Game Night, I got this really inexpensively, brand new, from a supermarket in the UK. I was shocked. It was like £3, which, you know, if you look at that, if you don't live in the UK, it's really good value. Brand new DVD. And it says it's hilarious on there, and I have to say it really is funny, which is why I wanted to get it. Now, this particular movie, it has basically a lot of twists and turns in it. And I like psychological thrillers. I like something that makes my mind think who did it, what's happening, what's going on. And this film has got multiple moments of that in it. I can't say too much because I don't want to give it away. But just when you think you know what's happening in it, something else happens. And I love those type of movies, but this one is different because it's got comedy all the way through it, which I wasn't expecting. Usually when I watch psychological thrillers, they don't have much humour in them. It's like really serious, sinister stuff. And some of this stuff is quite hardcore, but in a funny way. And it's not as hardcore as some people would think, because obviously I don't like horror. I don't know if you already know that about me. I can't stand horror. So I've got to be careful what I watch from that point of view. So some people would find this just, like not, like timid. But I watched it for the humour and the psychological thriller point of view, because it's really, really clever the way it's done. It's always twisting and turning. And there's this guy in it that acts like a psycho all the time. But you find out more towards the very end what happened in his life, because it's always like kind of like a bit of a mystery exactly why he's behaving like that. You know why in part, but you don't know what exactly happened to make him like that. But it's very clever. His character is very clever, and you don't get to find out how till the end of the film. So I'm not going to say anything about that. But this is a wonderful, because what happens in the game night is, instead of it just ending up being board games like they get used to in card games, they end up having a live game with real people. And it's a whodunit, but in real life. But you don't know throughout the film what's reality and what isn't. That's how come it's very, very clever. You don't know what's the game anymore and what is actually really happening that's not great in the film. And that's what I loved about it. And it's just the humour, though, in it as well. It's really, really, really funny. A really funny film. Because, they don't know if they're in a game or not. So they act like they are a lot of the time, even if they might not be. And you wouldn't act like that unless you were playing a game. So it's really hilarious. Really, really funny. Now, this has no sex in it, but I have to say it does have sexual innuendo. So if you are sensitive to that type of thing, you probably might not be able to handle some of this film. It might be too much for you. So the only bit that I think it's quite funny, because I can make sexual jokes even though I'm asexual and don't ever want sex. So for me, it's just find it hilarious that they even brought something up. But they take the mickey out of this guy for something he did to himself when he was a younger kid, which is a sexual something. And I find it quite hilarious, because they were saying this across playing a game. And I just found it really funny. But some people who are sensitive to any sexual talk whatsoever would probably find that disgusting. So I just wanted to warn you that it is a no-sex film. If you're looking... And I couldn't find any nudity in it either when I was watching it. There's no nudity. So it's a good film from my point of view. And I didn't get put off by the thing that goes on with him when they taunt him when he was a little boy and what he did to himself. But if you're sensitive to genital talk at all, then you might not you probably definitely won't like that bit, and it might spoil that part of the film for you. So it's if you can cope with that, then you don't see anything, it's just them talking about it. But, if you can't cope with stuff like that, then obviously maybe not one to watch for you. But if you like something hilarious with twists and turns, something that's easy going on the mind but quite complicated at the same time, this is one to watch. It's a like have a movie night and popcorn night in, And I just thought, dog's in the movie, by the way. That's why it's on the front cover. It's really funny. There's a bit with a dog that's hilarious. I have to say, it's so funny. I can't tell you what happens because it'll be giving it away, but it is really funny. The dog's really great in it. So yeah, laugh out loud funny is totally what I found in it. Like I said, I don't usually find much funny. This is a 15. So I just let you know that. And on the back it does say strong language, sex references and injury detail. So that is it. So, you know, don't forget, it is up to you whether you watch this or not. I can only go by my own judgment of what I think. Hi Michael, nice to see you. I've nearly finished now. I was just doing a review of this film. So it's pretty much like I've done pretty much all the review now. So yeah, I was saying that this has got no sex in it whatsoever, but there is some sexual innuendo. There's one scene where they take the mickey out of him and refer to something he did with himself years ago to do genital parts. But other than that, the film's really good. It's very, very hilarious. Lots of twists and turns. Psychological thriller, but one that's not too bad on the mind. And it's got lots of plots and subplots. It's really, really good. I absolutely love it, which is why I bought it on DVD for myself as a present. And because it's something I'd watch again. Because even though I've seen it, every time... Well, I watched it at cinema, and this is the second time I watched it. I just know it will make me laugh. And I think laughter is the best form of medicine as well, you know. I feel like if you're feeling a bit down, or even if you're not, even if you're happy in life, why not make yourself a bit more happier with having something hilarious, you know? I think it's really important to keep your mind, you know, having happiness and fun and good times, you know? So if you think that's maybe your type of movie, give it a shot. But like I said, you know, there's no sex in it. There is some innuendo though, so just be careful of that. But yeah, no nudity either. I couldn't see any nudity. I was so happy because, you know, I hate movies with nudity or sex in them. They drive me insane. I'm like, it's totally unnecessary. And I'm quite fortunate in the fact that I found loads of films without sex. I mean, there's Bumblebee, which is part of Transformers movie. That's got no sex in it whatsoever. Trolls, I absolutely adore. That's got no sex in it whatsoever. So yeah. Anyway, I've got to go because my battery's gone low. Didn't realise that, and I've pretty much finished my review anyway now, so don't forget to check it out. Here it is again, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next live stream. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live. Right now I'll post a new video, and I will see you soon. Thanks for the thumbs up. Any more thumbs up would be great. Good night, Michael. Hopefully you'll watch the live stream in a bit so you can see my review. Take care. Bye. Nice to see you.